Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rick Gannon and I'm a UK-based property investor, and I've been investing in property now since 1997. So let's get the boring stuff out of the way before I share my tips with you today. If you do like my content, please do click on that subscribe button and hit that bell notification. And my VIP Property Academy is now open. So if you'd like to become a part of my VIP community where we share over 100 hours of property related courses, you can get hold of this today for £1. Just click on the link below. So in this video, I want to talk to you about managing tenants. Now, one of the biggest problems for future property investors and potentially current investors is how to manage your tenants effectively. So these are my top 10 tips when it comes to house shares or HMOs. So we'll start with number one, systems. Have a system in place for reporting maintenance and make sure that all of the tenants are aware of what this system is. Now, this way, all calls will be logged and you might need to refer to them at some time in the future if you're ever challenged by the local council. Now, of course, they will be logged and they can be accessed as well by your maintenance team if you've got one, so they can be dealt with in a timely manner. Now, you don't need to overcomplicate this. All this needs to be is something as simple as maybe a spreadsheet. That would be fine. Or if you prefer to be more digital, then you could consider using a system like Tenant, which gives the facility for the tenant to log all of the maintenance issues. The system will then date stamp and log all of the calls, and then you can refer back to this at any time should you need to in the future. Number two, have a clear maintenance policy. One of the biggest complaints that I find that I've done surveys on and loads of people have commented back is maintenance from tenants. So tenants are complaining that their landlord doesn't have a maintenance policy and they don't know what to do if something goes wrong. So your policy needs to be something that the tenant understands. And this might categorize the level of importance in each report. So something like a traffic light system, for example. So red for urgent issues, amber for important issues, and green for routine issues. When you check your tenant in, explain the system to them and how it works, and then make sure that they've got a clear understanding of their responsibilities and, of course, their expectations. Number three, have a clear set of house rules. Now, these must be explained again when the tenant checks into the property. Ensure that they include your guest policy, because if you're running a HMO, then many HMOs need to be licensed. And if you've got an extra person staying at the property for longer than they should, then that could be breaching your license conditions. You also need to make sure that you've got a very robust anti-social behaviour policy. And again, if you're in a property that is licensed, then it will be your responsibility as the landlord to deal with any antisocial behaviour issues. Otherwise, you could be fined. Now, I've got a document that I use in my properties called a Harmonious house policy. And this is given to all of the tenants upon check-in, and it's explained to them. Now, the policy is a clear set of guidelines on how to live in a shared house, and they need to take everyone's space into consideration. And it covers things like guests and loud music and smoking, etc. Now, again, you don't need a huge list. Nobody likes being told what to do, but you will need to set some guidelines. Number four, be a member of a property redress scheme. Now, this will enable the tenant to lodge a complaint if they ever feel that they're not being dealt with in a timely manner. Now, there are two schemes available to you. There is the Property Redress Scheme, or PRS for short, or the Property Ombudsman. Now, both offer a mediation service for tenants should they ever have an issue that you can't resolve together. Now, I do need to point out that this is not a legal requirement for self-managing landlords yet, but it is best practice. Number five, be proactive on your rent day. I did a video about this yesterday. It's a great idea, if you can, to charge rent on the first day of each month. Now, this way, you'll only need to chase for the rent once a month. Make sure you are proactive with any late payments, and a quick phone call or a text message will usually do the trick. Now, we take all of our rents on standing order. This way, they should, in theory, if the money's in the bank, all land in our bank account overnight on the 30th or the 31st of the month. And the best thing about standing orders is that they are completely free of charge. Now, a great tip here is to complete the standing order mandate with the tenant, ask them to sign it, and then you can post it to the bank yourself to avoid any hiccups. Number 6, have a police-approved key safe. Tenants very often lock themselves out, which puts a huge demand on your resources. So it's a great idea to get a key safe installed to prevent those late night call-outs. And before you say they can be broken into, I know they can be broken into, and so can your back door or your window. But burglary is burglary. If a person is intent on breaking in, then they're going to break in anyway. So make sure that any key safe that you use is a police-approved key safe, and make sure that you've instructed your insurance company and you get their approval. Number 7, employ a cleaner. Now, tenants do sometimes forget to clean, which may cause others to become unhappy, specifically in a house share. So if you're employing a cleaner at least once a fortnight, that will address the issue. And a great tip is to ask your cleaner to also provide a roll of bin bags each time they visit. Now, bin bags only cost a few pounds, and believe me, this will take away any issues that you've got with tenants not buying bin bags, because they'll fill the bin anyway, even if there's no bin bag. Number 8, tenants like fast Wi-Fi, like everyone does. And we live in a world now where everything is on the internet. So try your very best to install the very fastest Wi-Fi, and that will make the tenant very happy, and it will keep them from calling you about the connection speed frequently. Now, there are literally loads of packages that you can choose from these days. I wouldn't skimp on this. You'll thank me later. Tenants will prefer to sleep on the floor if their bed is broken for a week before telling you, but I can guarantee that if the internet goes down, then they will be on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning straight away. Number 9, display your recycling and your general waste instructions above the bins. Now, this will help your tenant understand what they can and what they can't dispose of correctly, and it will keep the peace in the house. Now, it shows that you care and you're a responsible landlord. And finally, number 10, be polite and professional. Tenants are, after all, our customers. Make sure that any complaint or any grievance is dealt with quickly and professionally. Please treat your tenant just like you would treat any other customer. We need to have rules, yes, but we also need to make sure that we are keeping our tenants happy, because less voids equals more profit and less work for us. So there you have it, my top 10. I hope that was useful. Please do make sure that you comment below if you've got any of your own tips. And if this was useful, I'd love for you to make a comment and click on that like button. And I'll see you on the next one.